Hi, my name's Ray. Welcome to my channel. First time on YouTube. We're going to have some fun here. This channel is designed for people that love playing guitar, and that's simply it. I'm not going to do lessons here. I'm not going to tell you what kind of gear to buy, or I'm not going to represent any companies or anything like that. We're just going to tell stories and come up with anecdotes and tips and suggestions, that kind of thing. A little bit about myself. I played in cover bands for over 5 decades, and speaking of stories, I got a lot of stories, and I'll be sharing those with you in upcoming episodes. But today, I wanted to talk about what got me interested in playing guitar in the first place. And it's a story I'm sure that a lot of you probably had the same experience. It was simply this. Back in February 1964, this little-known British group came over to the U.S. and appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. And of course, talking about the Beatles. And myself, at 7 years of age, with my family watching the Beatles live on Ed Sullivan. I mean, absolutely floored. I mean, blown away, excited. Even my mom was excited. It was amazing. And I was captivated by one particular member of the band, and that was George Harrison. I turned to my mom and I said, I'm going to be George Harrison. And she kind of chuckled and thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I was serious. I had my mind made up right then and there. I was going to be George Harrison. I was going to play guitar. So I began my campaign of bugging my parents and pleading with them to get me a guitar. And, that went on for months. And then finally, I think when I was about 9 years old, Christmas morning, I went downstairs, and underneath the tree was a very strange looking box, had my name on it. And so, of course, I got excited. I opened the box, and guess what was in it? Yeah, that was in it. Pulled it out of the box. I mean, I was instantly smitten. I was in love. I had a guitar. I finally got a guitar. And I thought that, magically George Harrison's talent and energy would somehow be transferred to me as soon as I picked up this guitar to play it. And sadly, it didn't. Anyway, this guitar was very cheap, and a lot of you could probably relate to this. I mean, the strings were like this high off the fretboard, and it was terrible. And of course, I didn't know how to tune it. I didn't know how to play it. I mean, I didn't have a clue. Although there was a music book included for what it's worth. But you know what? I was in love with that guitar, and I just hammered on that thing like I knew what I was doing. And I did that for months and didn't give up. And finally, my mom thought, well, looks like he's going to maybe want to play this thing. So maybe I should get him into lessons. So she enrolled me in lessons. And on my very first lesson, I went into the room with the teacher. And he was, a guy that had seen it all, looked pretty bored, didn't really want to be there. He threw a Mel Bay book at me, how to learn how to play guitar. And then, to add insult to injury, all I could do, or all he wanted me to do, was learn a few notes on one string. One string at a time. Well, I'm thinking, what's this? Like, I've taken lessons so I can learn how to play Beatles songs, Anyway, no. So lesson number 2, same thing. Lesson number 3, still showing me that, one note at a time stuff. And 9 years old, come on, I want to get going. So I told my mom, I'm not doing lessons anymore. She said, okay, fine, we'll save the money. But I kept at it anyway. And just over the course of time, I met some guys that could play things and show me things. and became one of those self-taught guys, and just trying to get better. Still am, you know. But anyway, that was my first guitar, my first crappy little guitar. But you know what? That's how I got the bug. So, you know, maybe you have somebody that influenced you to pick up a guitar. Why don't you let me know how that came about? Let me know in the comments below. And, you know, we can share it with everybody else. But everybody has a love affair with a guitar, and I had to start somewhere. Listen, I'm really thrilled that you stuck around for this episode. I've got a bunch more coming up soon. We're going to talk about all kinds of things, you know, joining bands, whether you should take lessons, discussing things. I got lots of stories, like I said, and they're good ones. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for coming around. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.